All right. Whoa. Get that camera set up there. All right. Can everybody hear me? Give me a thumbs up if you can. Just trying to figure out how to. Oops. Yep. All right. Thanks, Andrew. All right. Yeah, I saw your message there, Andrew. It's definitely going to be an emergency cleanup today. The winter hit us pretty quickly here. So anyway, just going to be unpacking the boat for the season, and it's just going to kind of go from bow to stern and get everything all packed up and bringing in the boat to get wrapped up tomorrow. We're supposed to have a pretty gnarly storm. Oh, I'm sideways. All right, how do we fix the rotate device back? If I go like that. Is that better? Yeah, there you go. Figuring out the live stuff. Thanks, Andrew. All right, so got my Rubbermaid containers here. Stuck together. Yeah, this weather definitely crept up on us. Holy moly! Crept up on us pretty quickly. Come on now. Blooper reel here in the first 10 seconds of the ride. Holy moly, what did I do? There we go. See, sometimes you just gotta take it easy. All right, start off at the front hatch here. Yeah, so open water season is done. And now everything is frozen solid, which is expected. So anybody else getting their boat prepped soon? Or do we have any hardcore guys that are going to be going out still for a little while longer? For me, the big thing is my commercial insurance lapses in mid-December anyways. December 15th is the last day. So I'm getting I'd be pretty close to the end of my season anyways. And with some pretty consistent negative temperatures and the snow and wind, just makes sense to call it a day. What a great season it was. Lots of days on the water this year. So, sorry about that. Made a lot of noise. Okay, first thing going in the case. It's the old Rance HDS 12. Picked this up in March when I got the active target. And man, oh man, let me tell you, it's been a fantastic tool to have. I love having that big screen. Wow, that actually is frozen solid for the moment. I'll have to work on that later. Okay, next hatch. This one here will also be frozen. So this is where I've got all my safety gear, PFDs and life jackets stored in here. I don't know if you've ever if any of you guys have these or similar ones to these. But these are awesome. These are awesome things to have. These PFDs here. These ones are manual deploy, so you got to pull on that yellow tab. But with that being said, I do have auto deploy ones. Either way, these are really nice to have, especially on those really hot summer days where, especially if I'm trolling around in Lake Erie, far away from shore. Obviously, I want to be wearing something all the time, and this is nice and light. And then in the cold times of year, when you're really bulked up already, wearing lots of layers, it's nice to have something like that. What type of mount are you using for the active target transducer? Well, let me show you. So I forget what brand this is, but I'll bring it over here. So I've got the, so this is just like a Brocraft track mount. It goes on, it's made for this gunnel track system that Lund has. And so this is just the Brocraft mount here. On top, you know what? I don't remember. Oh, there it is. Geiger Tech. So it's a Geiger Tech mount. And so yeah, this here gets hooked on to that. And then I've got the pole here that I can independently spin the transducer, which there's obviously some benefits and drawbacks to that. My buddy Brett, who, if you've followed the channel at all, you've seen me fish with him quite a bit. He's got his transducer on the trolling motor, which is quite nice because obviously your hand's free. Yeah, no problem, Andrew. Problem is though, is if, let's say if you got to steer the boat in one direction, but the fish are over there, now you got to take the transducer away from the fish to straighten the boat out. So there's like benefits and drawbacks, I guess, to either system. One of the huge drawbacks about this system though is that, yeah, like I like to use my remote control as well for the trolling motor. So remote control, jigging, moving the transducer. So there's a lot of stuff going on, I guess. I do have, on that note, I do have a foot pedal for my trolling motor. And it's a great option, but it's, how do I say this? It responds really quickly, so all I have to do is tap this and the trolling motor moves quite a bit. So I'm not a huge fan of, like I said, it's a great backup to have, but I'm not a huge fan of using that foot pedal. All right, almost done in the front patch here, and then my case full of actual life jackets here. Those will not be going in the rubber containers. Got one back here. I will take care of that later. I don't think you're going to see me over that thing all the time. Alright, what else do we have in this front patch here? A Bondi bait. I haven't used at all. White Bondi bait. Bought these with the hopes of doing some jigging for muskie on the St. Clair River. Just never really got to that entirely. Alright, moving on down here. Lots of frozen stuff. That's not good. Just kind of reinforcing why it is we're doing what we're doing right now. Extra ropes here. Ooh, that frozen solid. So we're going to toss that over there. Bring inside and warm up. I'll put that in there later. A couple of odds and ends here. This right here is just a waterproof case. Got some maps in here, clean water tabs, got a compass as well, super important. Got some matches in there. I think the matches are remnants from when I used this when I was camping. Probably not going to use those out on the water. This container here will go in another box. Okay, so that does it for the first hatch. Moving right along. every year. Oh, there we go. Still got it. All right, let's empty out some of the lures. Baits we've got. So, case of plastics. That's gonna go in there. All of my favorite Angler's Choice plastics. Got my jigs. A couple of odds and ends here. Jigs from Andrew. Better Bites Tackle. Great product. Bought these this color here this week or last week. Never got to use them, but they are going to be there for the spring. What else do we got? My case of, I got some odds and ends in here. Got some blade baits, jigging spoons, hair jigs, jigging wraps. So a smattering of things there. Safety equipment, so on. Lots of various plastics from Angler's Choice, Gobies, Houdinis. Got the stinger hook case there, extra dipsy diver. Haven't used those in a while. Look at that, I probably should have bought a couple more of these cases. These Rubbermaid containers. I'm going to fill in this one in the first two containers here. All right. What else? Some plain hooks, perch rigs. Got some panfish plastics here. Just a different variety of them. A bunch of different brands in there. Musky leaders. Didn't get to use those much, but I've got them just in case. Okay. Giant bag of more plastics. These ones are the bass ones. So I do have some swim baits in there, as well as what's the other one that I really like to use? Like those Senko style baits. Casting baits here. Basket pike, not much in there. Just some inline spinners, spinner baits, medium depth crankbaits. And here's all the stuff from Port Glasgow. So quite literally, these are the two cases that I use when I'm trolling out on Lake Erie. Honestly, there's not many lures in here. Probably about 10 or so in the body baits. I've got probably another dozen or so in the spoons. And that's it, that's all. I try not to overcomplicate things, especially out there. I don't feel like you really have to. Okay, so this case here, I've got my dipsy divers, got some planer boards, spare lures in there as well. I'm gonna keep that one out. Okay, so that looks like, oh, and then I got some hair jigs here as well. Spare parts for dipsies. Okay, so that's it for that hatch. Alright, let's see if I can get that one. Nope. I'll have to work on that a little bit. Okay, moving back now. So twist this way. Take a sip of coffee here. All right. Yeah, well, hope everyone's doing well. If you're still able to get out on the water, good for you. I'm not jealous at all, promise. Maybe a little bit jealous. Okay, so got some mounts here. Rod holders. Yeah. feel free to put any questions you might have in the comments there. Anything at all. Okay. So yeah, there's the mount for the transducer there from Geiger Tech. Really solid mount. Really solid mounting system for sure. This here is just a kind of like a tool holder. This is from Burrowcraft, just from it's an Amazon purchase. I'm actually just going to chuck these in the garbage, so I'm going to make a pile right there. Those lip grippers never really work properly, so we're just going to get rid of those. Yeah, so I was going through my trip logs the other day. I started April 17th, I think was what I remember seeing as my first outing. Made it all the way to, when was the last time I was out? Friday. So what's that, November 29th. So it's a pretty good season. Pretty long season. Alright. So yeah, just a little tool carrier. Lots of ends there. Okay, good. So transducer, that's going to be staying in here. Let's move on over to this side. Sorry if I'm bouncing you guys around at all. The rod holders, these are kind of got a blade bait here. This is from is it Reef Runner? It's their Cicada, I believe is what it's called. Only tried this out for a little while. Didn't really have much luck with it, but I'll give it another try this spring. There we go. So we have these rod holders here. So it's kind of a quick release, which is nice. So this right here is a Lund bracket, and it has this quick release system, which is really nice. So I can take the rod holders off and on the gunnel really quickly, and especially when I'm putting the top on and stuff like that, the trailering cover. I did have to modify them a little bit, so I cut out this piece of 1x4 and painted it black, just so it gave me a little bit more space between the gunnel and the actual rod holders. So anyway, yeah, that's got 3 rod holders there. Put it all together for, I don't know, maybe $30 or something like that. So not bad. We've got some pliers in there. Actually, you know what? Rod holders, these things can stay here. Now that I'm looking at it, these can stay in the boat. They don't need to be stored inside. We'll take all the tools out though. So, okay, excellent. Hi, Aurora. Little girl coming to help me.
Subscribe to Bare Boats Fishing.
Subscribe to Bare Boats Fishing, she says. All right. So
What are you doing?
we're just emptying out the boat. Just getting all the stuff out. Okay. So,
There's so much snow in the boat right now,
yeah.
and it's also
Do you
snowing.
want to help me?
Yeah,
Yeah.
I might go inside because it's really
I was gonna say it is pretty cold, so you feel free to do that whenever you want to. So I'm gonna try to take this chair. You want to do me a favor and try to twist it from up here? Twist it. Oh, jeez. Maybe we trade. You come push this button down here,
Where?
right down here.
Oh.
You see it? Push hard. There you go.
Oh,
There we go. Perfect. Thank you.
Did it.
You did it. Nice
Are you?
work.
When are you gonna give the boat to the?
Tomorrow. I'm gonna get it wrapped up tomorrow.
That's so cool.
It's so cold.
My room is right there.
All right.
I like being in the videos.
I know you do.
It might be smoking when you're talking.
Yeah, probably a little
Just a
bit.
little bit.
A little bit.
Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Okay, I need to go inside.
You gotta go inside? Okay.
I'm gonna try
Getting
to
a little
get
chilly.
Coat.
What's that?
I'm gonna get a coat. If I can find one. Bye!
All right. Okay. So we're gonna go. I'm gonna move that camera a little bit closer. So far. Yeah. So I'm probably gonna bring this pedestal inside. Back here, got this waterproof case. Has my VHF radio, my handheld VHF radio as well. And in that case, I've got all my odds and ends, tools, things like that. As well as first aid kit. Rod holders back here. Okay, there. Let's go there. So one thing I'm definitely realizing right now is I'm emptying this boat with similar amounts of like storage containers that I would have used in my old boat. And I'm coming to realize very quickly that I'm probably going to run out of storage containers here. But oh well. So I have these here. These are really nice. Picked these up from Canadian Tire. You're outbound. So they're just like these foam pads that kind of like fold out. And so on the boat here, I've only got the two actual seats. And so if I have a few extra people, I'll pull these out and they can kind of sit on the side rails there, and they've got at least a little bit of cushion. So these were pretty handy a few times this year. Definitely will be taking these out. Nothing with foam staying in the boat. My lures this here. Could probably keep that in here. Just a little outboard jacket. No. Buddy mixed jacket. Left it here in the spring. Just realizing it now. Still haven't given it back. What else do I got in here? PVC pipe. I can probably get rid of this too. You might be wondering what this is for. So this is what I actually used to mount my camera with for the first pretty much year and a half of the YouTube channel. So I can't show you the mount that my cell phone camera is on, but this is what I used was my cell phone. And I had this mount, just has some like what do they call that there, like gooseneck. It's like kind of a gooseneck mount, and so I would just stick it in here, and then this would go in one of the pedestal holes. But I don't need this anymore because I've got a little bit of a better system for my YouTube videos now, so we can probably toss that aside. All right, so now we're getting down to the fun stuff. Actually, you know what, before I do that, switch over to this side. Got another storage hatch here that will empty out. There we go. All right, so these here, this case, so all these are just shower hooks. And so, you know, if I end up with people that want to take, you know, the photo of them holding the fish, what I'll do is I've got the posts that I use for my trailering cover, and so I'll hook these into the gills of the fish, and then put that end onto the post, and they can hold it up and get their photo that way. So I got a bunch of those in this container. These things can stay in here. Let's take a look at what else can stay in here. So other mounts for the trolling rods. Those can all stay in here. These can stay in here. They don't need to be sheltered. So another thing that I did prior to starting the season in Port Glasgow was I ended up getting these two Scotty mounts put on a bar of aluminum. So actually, I went to a fabrication company here in London, and they cut this to length for me. And so then I had just a couple of these aluminum bars, and I put the Scotty mounts on them, and then mounted this to one of the Brocraft mounts here. So now I've got a double rod holder, and because this is I think this is like 1/2 inch aluminum, it's like super solid, and there's like no twist or anything, and that was one of the things that I was concerned about when I'm trolling out on Lake Erie. There's a lot of torque on the rods that have especially the Dipsy divers on them. The ones that I use too, I have really big Dipsy divers, the number 1s I believe they are. It's number 1 or number 3, I can't remember, but it's the biggest ones that they make, so there's lots of torque on the rod. So I wanted to get something that I didn't want to have plastic. So anyway, it cost me I don't know, $20 to get them to cut those for me to length. So I got a couple of those, one for either side of the boat. So those can all stay in there. Fishing line, my anchor. This I will take out. Like I said, I don't want to keep anything in the boat a mouse can chew on, and this kind of rope, they definitely can. So this side. A little bit of line here. Okay, so now we're getting down to the potatoes. Right. So we'll start off on this side. Haven't used these rods in a while. The side that my trolling rods are on. Let's try to get this first. Just had this off the other day. Okay, trolling rods. Ooh, nice and crispy. Spare jacket in here. That's the thing I gotta go. Alright, so definitely got a lot of stuff in here that needs to be taken out. Oh wow, some spare gloves in there that are frozen solid. No bueno. Wow. Go. Just a charger for my phone. Yeah, we're going to take that out. Okay. So here, got a smattering of rods. That glove frozen to the end of one of the rods. Nice. So this is one of my trolling rods here. Daiwa AccuDepth paired with Kuma reel. These things at this point in time do not owe me anything. They have caught a lot of fish, and they have been put through the ringer as well. Lots of use out of these things. Okay, so We've got 2 of these. This big one is not. Ooh, some blue skies. Nice. So yeah, these 2 here, these are the 2 shortest ones I've got. So these are both 7/6. And so these are the rods that I will use. These will be my inside rods. I usually put the biggest dipsies I've got on these rods right at the very stern of the boat there, one on either side. Almost bailed right on my face there. Would have been embarrassing. All right. A couple more frozen gloves there. All right, so the next rods I've got. So these ones here, these are Akuma Classics. These are, I would say, pretty standard in these parts. So these are 9-foot rods, same thing paired with Akuma reels, these Akuma Magdas. And so these rods would be used, these are my, like the middle rods. So I run a 6-rod spread, 3 rods per side. So these are the ones that I use in the middle. And I'll pair these usually with the number 1 dipsy, the mid-sized one. Like I said, I can't remember off the top of my head what the number schemes are there. But yeah, so I got 2 of these. Take out here. And on these ones, and then the other rods that I showed you, I've got 50-pound braid on them. And then the last set of reels I've got there. Actually, no, there's more in here, but for the trolling stuff, got all my bottom bouncers in here as well. So the last set of rods and reels I've got, so they're the same ones as the I had previously shown you, the Akuma Classic Pros, but these are 10-footers, and I've got is it 30-pound monofilament on these, and these are the rods that I use for my planer boards specifically. You might be wondering why I use the mono versus the braid. For my planer boards, why don't I just have it all the same? The planer boards I have, the alligator clips are made for monofilament. They don't slip as much. When you use mono, if you switch to braid, which I've tried, they move around. I know you can upgrade the clips, but I just haven't gotten around to that. And so anyways, I've just been running that on these rods. And here, what else do I have? Paddles, rags, that stuff can stay in here. Got my weights for bottom bouncing in here as well that I'll take out. My favorite rod of all time, this one here. Caught some monsters on that one. All right. Yeah, so oops, a bunch of different weights for bottom bouncing. So I've got anywhere from, most of these are 3 and 4 ounce, but I've got a couple in there that are 2 ounces as well. Okay. More weights here. I'd have to get a better storage system for these bottom bouncing weights. Gonna need a better storage system for those. And this last rod that I've got in here, I'll show that in one moment. rod here is what I actually started jigging the St. Clair River with. And so this is a Shimano SLX, and this is that's the reel, and then the rod is a which is it again? The Airdex. That's what it is, the Daiwa Airdex. And so this was the rod and reel that I used to use quite a bit. Actually, the first time I really had any success jigging on the St. Clair River was using this rod and reel here. I got a second one of these, and I don't use these for jigging anymore, but I use them for casting for bass and all that stuff. But I also use them for bottom bouncing. Morning, Rob. How's it going? No one fishing the mouth this morning in Sarnia. Yeah, you'd have to be pretty hardcore to be going out today. I'm sure someone will at some point, but I feel like over the last week I've put myself out there quite a bit in some pretty uncomfortable days with the wind and the what have you. So anyway, backing up the boat. For any Americans that might be watching right now, happy Thanksgiving. Hopefully everybody's having a great long weekend. Hopefully everybody got to enjoy football on Thursday, and then the Kansas City Raiders game. That was hilarious. For those of you who watch football. Okay, so I think that does it for this. Yeah, for that hatch. Okay, done on that one. And slip bobber, something I didn't really get to use much this year, but something that I like to use from time to time. Alright. So we'll just keep moving our way around the boat here. I actually got to check to see how much battery I've got left. Oops, on my camera. 27%, okay. We still got a good amount of time. So next up, got the Lowrance Elite FS9 here that I'll be taking out. So I've actually got a ram mount that I'm going to install for the springtime. I really like this unit, but I don't like the fact that you can only really see it when you're sitting at the captain's chair, if you will. Oh, my battery's going real fast here. Well, if I lose everybody all of a sudden, my sincerest apologies, but my battery is running down like crazy right now. What's going on? Anyways, so we got the Elite FS9. I'll be putting this on a ram mount, like I said, in the winter time. Or the springtime. Yeah, so like I said, if I lose you guys, I'm sorry. I don't know what happened with my batteries there. Speed addict. I am going to winterize the boat. It's getting winterized tomorrow. Wrapped up and everything. That unit gone and gone. Over here. All right. Thanks, you too, Andrew. Happy holidays to you as well, pal. You've got Christmas tree set up last week, and we're at that time of year for sure. Okay, we'll get that set up down here. Like I said, I apologize if I lose everybody all of a sudden. I thought I had a full charge on my cell phone before starting this. Obviously, I did. Okay, so this hatch here got a lot of use the last couple of weeks. This is where I keep all my jigging sticks. So I just released a video last week or this week. I don't remember when. Kind of talking about my jig and rod setups, so I'm not going to talk you guys through these ones. In a nutshell, every rod is about 7 and 3 inches, 7 foot 3 or 7 foot 2, sorry. And then I've got these Pissy Fun Flame reels that I run on all of them. Oh, Mr. Golden Sun, lovely. Haven't seen you in a couple of days. Well, looking at the long-term forecast here, I'm actually hoping for a decent ice fishing season this year. Hopefully one where I don't have to travel too far to get to some ice. That's been the issue the last couple of years, is that for me to get to any ice, I've had to drive about 3 hours in one direction. So, you know, that's like 6 hours of driving a day for a few hours of ice fishing. Oh no, that's not good. Well, there you go. Blooper on the old YouTube Live. Fishing rod slid down. That's okay. There we go. That's a little bit better. So, a couple of other things that I've got in here. So this never leaves my boat. I've got some Ziploc bags. Got some gloves and sharpener, fillet knife. I got a couple. Actually, I got 2 fillet knives in here. So this is my fillet kit. Usually, I've got the electric knife as well, but I started keeping that in the house in early October, and the reason for that is because it's a lithium battery, and I didn't want it to be outside when the temperatures started to drop like crazy. Okay, so grab some of these things here. Odd ones. Gloves, some more plastics. Throw right here. Oh, this is kind of a neat item here. So this is a lamp, a flashlight, and a spotlight that you can use with the batteries that came with the Rapala R12. So the electric fillet knife, you can plug in the battery here, and it's quite nice. It actually has like a dimmable feature, and it's got a blue light on there as well. So when it's like super dark out, you're not going completely blind because of how bright the light is. Okay, so we've got that. Gloves. Oh man, this is a little sad going through this right now. But before you know it, spring will be here. We'll be back at it again. Okay, so that's just garbage. So this is another thing. So this is one of the nice new pieces I've added to the YouTube video repertoire. So this is a YOLOtech mount, which this mounts directly into the navigation light system, and it powers your GoPros. So it's pretty nice little thing. You don't have to worry about the GoPro batteries going dead, which unfortunately those batteries they suck. The GoPro batteries are not good at all. So anyway, that's been a nice little addition to the YouTube system. Okay, let's get this all here. So there's that. You know what? I think that's kind of where we'll cap it off. Those are all the major things unpacked. There we go. So those are all the major things that have been unpacked. There's a couple of small hatches that have some safety equipment in them. But anyway, thanks for joining in, guys. Like I said, kind of a sad day getting the boat packed up, but it is what it is. So take care and enjoy the rest of your weekend. Cheers, everyone.